Hi folks, Pete here from Ashton's Cars, and today you join me with the Ford Fiesta Zetec S Black edition. This was a special edition that Ford put out in 2015. It's powered by the 1 litre EcoBoost engine, but in this car producing 140 horsepower. And that's good for a top speed of over 130 miles an hour and an 0 to 60 time in 8 and a bit seconds, 8.8 seconds I believe this one is. So it's pretty quick for a little 1 litre Fiesta this, and it looks the part too. As you can see, it's got the red trim around the grille and on the front splitter there, and then you've also got a red roof and mirror caps as well to finish off the sort of sporty look of this car. This particular one is finished with a set of black alloy wheels which look to be newly refurbished. They're sort of pretty much unmarked. They're a 17-inch wheel on this car, and it does give the car a very sporty ground hugging stance. Obviously, being a Zetec S, you do get the full big spoiler on the back and the side skirts as well to match it, so it has got quite an aggressive body styling on it, and certainly you're not going to get this confused for your average 1 litre EcoBoost Fiesta. But 1 litre EcoBoost it is, and an engine that is a little bit controversial in some ways, because there have been issues before with engine failure at 80,000 miles because of the wet belt. This particular car was victim to that, and it's had a new engine put in it. So the engine in this car is only just over 2 years old, and because of that's the reason we bought it. I normally stay away from them at the age that we sell, this sort of 10-year-old bracket, because I'm worried about the condition of wet belts, stuff like that, and also the cost of replacement if I need to do it. We just, quite simply, by the time we change a wet belt on them, haven't got enough margin to make any profit. But with this particular car, I've got the receipts to say that it's had the engine replaced, and the engine that was in it obviously had all new auxiliaries and all new wet belts at the time. So it's basically like buying a 2.5-year-old Fiesta Zetec S in the engine department. But the car itself, well, it's in exceptionally nice condition, and that's another reason why I went for it. I say it's a controversial engine because I've only given you the negatives. This engine is absolutely superb. It's got plenty of power in it. It's very refined. It's a 3-cylinder, but you would not believe how smooth it is. And the power delivery is just so smooth. It really is breathtaking. And with 140 horsepower, of course, it has got the power in it to live up to the sporty looks of the Zetec S Black edition. So we'll have a little look at the engine and some of the features of this beautiful car. So here is the said engine. I'm no mechanic, but I do have all the receipts for this particular one, knowing that it's all been replaced and it's all fairly new. It was done the tail end of 2022. We're obviously early 25 at the minute, so it's about 2.5 years old, this actual motor is. It's all in good condition. The servicing's all up to date on it. Vitally important on these, because the wet belt means that the timing belt runs through the oil, and the oil needs to be the right grade, and also be good clean oil for that belt not to degenerate. And if that belt does start to degenerate, that's when you get problems. So I'm always worried when I'm buying a 10-year-old car normally, because I'm buying an engine that's been run for 10 years. I don't know what oil's been in it and stuff all the time. This particular one, obviously, I've got a lot more confidence in because of the fact it's had this replacement unit put in it. So that's a massive, massive bonus on this particular car that you won't see on too many Zetec S's of this age. Let's see if I can close this up while still keeping the video going. Ha! Got there in the end, didn't we? Right, so let's have a little look at what accommodation you got on offer as well, because it's a sporty car, this, obviously, and that makes it very, very appealing to a lot of people, especially the younger crowd. But it's also a Ford Fiesta, so it's actually quite practical. So we'll start off at the back of the car, and you can admire how damage-free this car is. It really is well preserved. Looks like the whole car was replaced in 22, but it wasn't. It was just the engine. Here's the boot. I've got my stuff in it already. Got my big bag of bits there. Hopefully that gives you an indication of how deep this is, because that's a huge bag. It's 290 litres in total, this boot is, and they have got the split fold the rear seats in there, so you can put longer loads in if needed. And it is a proper 5-seater as well, this Fiesta, so surprisingly a very practical car. Now, somewhere here to rest your drinks, of course. Meaty spoiler that is. It does make me smile. It's got my inner boy racer heart leaping with joy, this car has. Here's the rear compartment of it. 5 seats in total, so you've got ISOFIX points on the 2 outer seats on that rear bench, and you've got 3 inertia seat belts in there. And as you can see there, it's got quite a bit of leg room as well as headroom in it. It's quite a practical car, the Fiesta is, so it's more roomy than you might think. Put this seat back in place. Now let's talk about these seats. Beautifully sculpted with this sort of raised pattern on them, which looks fantastic. And of course you've got the red and grey trim on this Black Edition model. It does look very appealing indeed, and the red and black theme is continued right the way through this interior, not just the seats. We've got red and black stitching on the gear knob there and the steering wheel, really adding to the sort of sporty feel of this car and the feel that you are in something just a little bit special. Now I'll jump inside so as we can have a proper look at this interior. So here we have the driver's view. Nice gauges on this Zetec S model. They're standard Fiesta, but they really are nice and clear. They're well presented, and they're sort of in these deep bezels, which does look quite sporty. And we've got a rev counter that's got a red line there at 6,500, speedo up all the way up to the 130 mark. And this car really does shift. As I said, you really will be quite surprised by the performance you can get from just 1 litre these days. We've got stereo controls on the left of the wheel and a nice little panel here, which is high gloss black, and that combined with that lever on the steering wheel does give it a very nice tactile sort of feel, this steering wheel. And then towards the centre of the car, we've got what is Ford's sync system. It's on most of their cars from this era, which will run the Bluetooth on your phone. It will also play the music off your phone through Bluetooth, and you've got a DAB stereo in this car, so that's a real bonus. I do like the DAB. It means you've got a lot more choice of radio stations. So it's one of the things that I really look for in a car. We have got the front heated screen as well as the rear as well. That's another Ford thing that you don't get in anything else. And nice simple turny dials for the heating and ventilation controls, so no nasty surprises, all very easy to use. Yes, it's not as modern as some of the latest stuff where you've got touchscreens everywhere, but it's also one hell of a lot easier to use and navigate, especially when you're on the go. So from my point of view, I prefer this type of style of car and design of car really over some of the touchscreen stuff that's out now. Here we have, again, lots of nice trim on the doors. You see, this is what sets the Zetec S apart inside from some of its lower in the range siblings. The seats, the extra sort of high gloss black that you see in this car is not something you'd find on the regular Fiesta, but it does elevate this interior up and above the rest of the range. And this car does feel special. It's maybe just to be a little 1 litre, but let's just start it up and show you. It's got a lovely sound. They're not flashing in real life, those lights, by the way, guys. That's just the recording equipment. Start it up, lovely smooth idle, so it should be, because the engine's barely done any mileage. And then we'll give it a quick rev for you. It's so quiet. Sometimes you get a real rasp from these 3-cylinder engines, but these Ford units are very smooth. I can see why so many people were so impressed with them when they came out. And of course, it's only that later examples have had issues with the wet belt that has been, you know, the real sort of downfall of these cars a little bit. But if you can get a good one like this that's had either a replacement engine or has got the paperwork to say that wet belt has been changed, they do make a really, really good hatchback, and it's a great little engine in terms of its performance and its economy. I've been getting 50 to the gallon out of this. Ford claims 60. That's never achievable, really, what the manufacturers say, but I've been getting 50 to it over the last 24 hours. I've done some motorway miles, I've done a bit of driving around on A roads, and I've done a bit of sort of stop-start driving around town. I reckon you get 50 to the gallon quite easily in this car, unless you're really heavy-footed. So that's brilliant in itself. And the car tax on it is just 20 quid a year. So, I mean, that's not to be sniffed at either, is it? So, all in all, a great little car and a great little package. It's ULEZ compliant, it's cheap on fuel, it's cheap to tax, relatively cheap to insure because it's a bargain compared to the ST models. Obviously, you need to check with your insurance company how it compares though with a regular Fiesta, really, because it all depends on your driving history. But let's just jump outside. We've got a helicopter hovering over us overhead. Hopefully you can still hear me okay. If you're interested in this car, you need to get in touch with us. I don't think it's going to be around for long because they have got a really big fan base, these Zetec S models, and the Black edition obviously is Zetec S with a little bit extra on top, and I don't think this was going to be on our forecourt for too long. Give us a call if you're interested. The fact that it's got that replacement engine should really mean it should be front of the queue if you're looking at these things. My number's 07932 873 646. And we will be happy to arrange delivery of this car anywhere in the UK. And also, take your old car in Part X, so let us know what you got. And of course, if you're enjoying the channel, enjoying looking at videos of cars, subscribe, hit the notifications, and you will be kept informed of all the stuff that we've got coming in, all our car buying adventures as we deliver these things all around the country, and of course some car buying advice as well. So hit the subscriptions, make sure you're following us and you're a subscriber to this channel. It really is appreciated if you do that. But thanks ever so much for watching, and my number is 07932 873 646. If you look below at the item description or video description, you will find all the details of this car, and including the price. So if you're interested, take a look at that, and we hopefully will see you soon here at Ashton's Cars. Thanks for watching. Have a great day wherever you are. Bye for now. And there's some lovely Welsh coastline for you to peruse and browse as I say goodbye.